Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Duo Gaming Adventures Anonymous. I am not nearly as creative. I won't say creative. I don't have the same forethought that Doomy did to set up something as interactive as Jeopardy D&D that we did last night, which was a delightful encounter. Definitely make sure to go check out that video once it drops.
That took me 2 weeks.
It was amazing. It was awesome. It was an absolute blast. You should be proud of yourself, and if you're not, I'm proud of you, and you're just gonna have to survive. You're just gonna have to live with that.
I loathe myself entirely.
I'm gonna come out to West Virginia. I'm gonna aggressively love you, whether you like it or not. At some point. I'll do the same thing to you. Watch me.
I was trying to do a Grinch reference, but that's
I
fine.
was about to compliment you on that because that's my favorite movie of all time.
It was a delightful reference. I love that. Anyway, so we are back with Adventures Anonymous tonight. Going to be a little bit of a different kind of session. We're going to do some recap tonight, get you guys figured out back where we were, and figure out how we're going to split the party, because you guys have opted to aggressively split the party, and my sanity even further than it already has been.
I don't remember opting to split the party.
I mean, we've got red group, orange group, green group, blue group.
I think we were forced to split the party.
I, in no way, shape, or form...
I blame the rogue.
In no way, shape, or form did I twist anyone's arm into splitting the party.
I know we're going to go over this in the recap, but I have no memory of us deciding to split the party.
This was after RJ, you had already dipped for the night, but don't worry, we will go over it.
You are outvoted.
Kyrius was standing there off in his shadowy corner, brooding like he always does.
Thinking about the very... Would we call it a fussy? Yeah, thinking about the fussy.
Oh, God.
I think it would be a long year, so fussy.
I was trying to be clean for Twitch, okay?
Alright, well, that's us, everyone. It was wonderful to have you here. We are now being removed from Twitch. Have a wonderful time. Alright, so, for the recap, how far back do our players want to go?
The beginning.
The last thing I remember was the mines.
In the beginning, the universe was created, and this was regarded by many as a terrible decision.
Thank you, Douglas Adams.
You're welcome. Okay, so the mines, do we want to... I can just recap from the mines and we can go from there. But yes, so our wonderful, intrepid crew had made their way down into the mines, facing challenges, trials, tribulations, bending their brains in ways that no one had ever thought possible before. Making some, I hesitate to call them friends along the way. Hostage would be a good one. And convincing a group of kobolds that our dear Okami was in fact their master returned to form.
Cute.
It worked for a while, and then it didn't. But it's fine. It was fine. Nothing happened. It was fine. Making their way into the bowels of the mines, our intrepid group discovered that there was a rather severe pest problem in the shape of a deeply corrupted adult red dragon, who they flopped. Like, it was dramatic. It was good. Good fight. If you guys haven't seen that one yet, go check that out. Good fight. Very proud of our peeps. With our intrepid rogue getting the final anime-style blow. There was cinematics, cherry blossoms, everything was great.
Rules of Nature was blaring in the background.
100%. Returning up from the mines, our team found themselves in the town, running some errands, doing some chores, buying some things, selling some things, making some new acquaintances along the way, and learning some interesting information. All kinds of fun things, including that orichalcum can oxidize.
I thought it was mithril.
One of the two.
No, it was orichalcum.
that we picked
Whichever
up in the mines.
Our parties splintered off a little bit to go their own separate ways to tend to some things, tend to some chores before meeting back up and being quite dramatically whisked away into the castle. Having rested for the night and then meeting up for the morning, our intrepid band spoke to King Zypher about some strange occurrences that have been happening in the town since their arrival. A strange musician would appear in the towns, playing beautiful, wonderful, melodious music, saying something strange before disappearing and leaving people with a sense of discontentment towards Zypher. Originally, Zypher had tried to, I won't say persuade, because he was more blunt than that, and basically trying to tell our party to go, not your problem, you can leave if you want. But having been persuaded by our band, has graciously and oh so elegantly accepted their help into investigating these strange occurrences. Yure, this being his primary job of investigation, interrogation, and information gathering, left a rather lovely cardboard cutout of himself during the meeting with Scratch, none of our party any wiser, and disappeared. Once the meeting had been concluded,
Thanks for the sub.
the groups had begun to discuss pairing off to try to cover more ground. With Rain opting to go after Yure, Scratch and Agime opting to pair up together. Hallstrom volunteered to babysit Brutus, he's okay, he's on board with this. Which left the intrepid doctor and the stoic ranger to fend for themselves. We pan our camera back in to focus on our group before they have opted to disperse. And we will pick up then and have you guys try to figure out, where do you want to go? Who wants to go to which town? And actually, Rain, I will start with you, because the other half of your dynamic duo has already been released onto the world unsupervised.
So I just gotta hope.
Well, actually, if you can give me a history check real quick. So, you're decently familiar with how at least Tethea was set up. You have a pretty good idea of a lot of how noble classes and noble structures are going to work. So you're pretty sure that the first place he would go is the town closest to the castle, which is the castle almost due completely southeast from the castle where you're at. You know it's just a couple hours walk away, and you'll probably find him there.
That sounds good. I will probably go there on my broom to kind of speed it up.
Okay.
And then I disguise myself as one of, like, I'll disguise myself as the cute tailor boy.
Okay.
From the shop.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. All right. Are you going to let your party know where you're going, or are you just going to go ahead and head out?
If any of them had left after me, I would have let them know, but those who left before,
Fair enough. All right, so do we want to figure out who would be released into the world first, besides Yure, who is already probably making a small camp and preparing to bunker down to interrogate the locals? If y'all don't pick, I'm gonna.
wait.
Roll for it.
All right.
Let's pretend that I remember.
It has only been a few hours.
Supposed to be. Look, when you haven't seen the sun, and as long as I haven't seen the sun, the seasonal depression really starts to set in, and it really fucks with your memory.
I have some medication that can help with that.
No,
I know a paladin who emits sunlight.
God, let's stick him underground. Let's see how that goes.
Fighting monsters, he's had the time of his life. You kidding me?
Yeah, fair enough. He probably enjoyed it too much. So
just
yes,
rub
you
it
all,
in that you know a paladin that emits sunlight.
You all
Are they good
remember-
against the undead?
Yeah.
I hate this party.
You all remember you were dispersing to the cities to investigate the appearances of this strange figure with the violin. You all know that the city to the north is apparently entirely unaffected, as none of you, that this figure had never appeared when you were there, and no reports have come in from the north. The reports have come in from due south, from the southwest, the southeast, and due east. There are 4 towns specifically that have been hit, hence why you guys opted to break up and investigate.
Wait, which one are we?
You guys haven't decided yet.
East.
Yeah, that's the easiest one to go look for the hippie with the guitar.
All right, you guys are gonna head east. So you guys are going to this town here.
Oh no, yeah, make maps.
Now that just looks like
It's okay.
southeast.
You want to go all the way up to the hamlet? I'll send you to the hamlet.
No, fine, it's fine.
Do they have snacks? Are
I
there
don't-
any meat hand pies?
Is Yurik there?
Are you okay? You sound like you got a little frog in your throat, Mr. Scratch.
Hope it is not a frog hemoth.
He's got a
No.
couple in the wine barrel.
There's a really good bug. You want one? I got another one.
Absolutely not. I'm really trying to cut back.
More
Bugs
for
are good in
me.
protein.
Yup. More
I'm sorry.
for you.
What was that, Carius?
Bugs are good in protein.
That's what I like to hear. We'll have to get some so you can cook a meal.
There are plenty of other sources of protein that do not involve legs.
When you have spent a lot of time away from civilization, you eat what you have to eat, and bugs are a great source of protein.
Look, I myself am quite the traveler, and like I said, I'm really trying to cut down on the bugs, so no thanks. Hard.
Oogie, have you been looking at my experiments into the meat orb?
What? I don't know what words you just uttered out loud, but I dare say never want to hear them again.
Otherwise, most forms of protein involve legs at some point in that life.
If you're desperate enough, I know a good recipe for corpse starch.
Well, I'm so good as a vegetarian, y'all. So good.
In that case, you want lots of beans.
There are so many other forms of protein, y'all. Where have you been?
Underground.
Mr. Scratch, let's go.
You asked?
Look, you know how people get hangry when they're hungry? I get hangry being underground.
Oh, I can help that, but I can help the hungry part. I had a bug, remember?
I don't want your bug.
Is this a conversation you guys are having just standing in like
No,
the
we're
courtyard, or are you
We're
been
walking.
and talking? Okay,
Obviously.
excellent. I'm
We're
just thinking-
walking.
I want to imagine.
Go ahead, Carius.
I want to imagine though it's a conversation they're having as they walk away from us, so it's like fading out, and we're hearing like as it goes out.
Yeah, and they're yelling their opinions unsolicited,
I love this.
as usual.
I still have some cobalt cakes. You want one of them?
Nope.
You know
It's
they're delicious and nutritious, and you can't get them anywhere else, probably.
Mr. Scratch, how dried out are those cakes currently?
We've already walked out of hearing range.
Yes.
That's what I thought. I do not want
Alright.
your stale ass cake. I don't want your leftover bug.
So as you guys head out, you see various soldiers in attendance working. Nobody's really paying you much mind, but both of you roll perception for me.
I should have the character sheet open.
Yeah.
Is highly encouraged.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Nice.
Thank you.
You are both
Nice.
acutely aware of being followed by 2 guards.
Do you want to address them, or do you just want to let it happen?
Let's see what they do.
Are you going to offer them bug cake?
No,
Is
I'm
that
gonna.
our new?
I'm gonna eat it.
Is that our new bunt cake? It's bug cake.
But I will. Do I have it? Do I have it? Do I have it? Yeah, I'm gonna use my last bottle of oil. Delete that from. I'm just gonna like slowly using sleight of hand, spread it out on the road behind me.
Okay.
Slick shoes. Only some of you are old enough for that reference.
I was thinking more like go-go gadget oil slick.
Yeah, that's
That too.
Yes. So as you prepare and you set out your oil trap, these 2 guards both absolutely fall into it, and you both hear swearing behind you, and they kind of get up, brush themselves off a little bit, kind of brush each other off, and
Run.
they. You're gonna
A
run?
book
Get
it.
sprint?
Yep, we sprint. As soon as
Very good.
soon as we hear the clang of them falling, we sprint.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Very good. So yes, you 2 start sprinting. You burst out of the castle doors, out of the courtyard, out, down the mountainside. Because it's Zypher, and you burst out of the doors, and you're like 2 feet away from the road, and you look back, and the castle is in the middle of the mountains. You've been teleported. Congratulations.
What?
That's really weird when I don't do it on purpose.
I hate when people teleport me without my knowledge.
It wasn't me this time.
This time.
Yes, you 2 are now just on the road, and you see there are more guards milling around. Again, nobody's really paying you much attention. A couple people seem to be oddly selling wares, but you do also see stable hands with horses. And you see one standing there holding 2 horses, looking really confused.
I look at them very confused. What? You never seen a kobold before?
For trouble where there is none.
The stable hand kind of snaps out of their trance, kind of looks over. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. In perfect fluent common, you must be the people that King Zypher told me to wait for. Yes, I have 2 horses here for Captain Scratch Flabbercaster and First Mate Augie May Aster. And he kind of gives you an awkward smile.
Yeah. I look at the horse wearily because usually, I ride my own horse.
There is a kind of just a normal brown draft horse and a brown pony standing there.
To do it. That's hilarious.
Scratch starts to climb up the stirrup of the larger horse.
I pick him up and put him straight on the pony. Sir, what death sentence are you putting on that pony trying to get me on there?
I thought it was gonna carry our gear.
And what was going to carry me?
I mean, the bigger horse is big enough for both of us, right?
Sir, I do not need to double dutch a horse with you.
Fine.
I don't know if that's something that you've been dreaming about, but I'm going to shut it down right now.
I mean, honestly, I could just fly, but, you know, I was trying to look out for you.
We don't even have gear, sir.
He looks to the very large backpack with everything hanging from it on his back.
Now, I don't consider what you take with you at all times as like extra gear that needs to be saddled up to the poor pony. If it's too much for you, I can carry your extra bag. Just don't overpack next time.
No, there's very, very particular and sensitive equipment in here.
Then don't complain if you're the one packing.
I didn't go. When I.
Ayume laughs at Scratch on a small horse. It just like stands back and does that like stance where you have your chin between your thumb and your forefinger, and you're just trying to really commit to memory what you're seeing. It's like putting your kid on the coin machine horse at like a Chuck E. Cheese's.
The stable hand is just kind of like looking back and forth between you guys, just kind of nervous but awkward because they weren't told anything else about what was supposed to happen, just supposed to give you guys the horses.
If it's a pony, does that mean it's like a medium creature?
I think so, yeah. I think ponies are classified as medium creatures.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Oh no.
I'm gonna teleport with a pony.
Pony.
I'm
I'm gonna
enlarge you on a pony.
traumatize this animal.
All right, so are you guys gonna head out on your steeds?
Yeah, I'm
Your
gonna flip the
noble-
stable boy a coin. Piece of gold.
Ooh.
And just say, thanks. But gosh, I've been meaning to look for a friend of mine, and I want to know if you've seen him around. He's a real pleasant fella, loves to walk through the streets just playing a tune.
Well, I mean, we do get traveling minstrels every so often, but I mean, we've gotten some weird reports from a couple of the towns about this violinist just kind of showing up. This tall fox guy kind of came through here. He headed to the closest town, but I think there's another town just like if you, and he kind of points out across the plains. You guys head straight this way. There's another town that also has reports of this violin guy.
Is that east?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to cut into anyone's designated territory.
You kind of see him like when you ask if it's east, he kind of like holds up a finger and he's kind of like making like a weird little compass thing. He's like, yes, east, that way. They've had some reports of the violin guy. If you want to go check that out.
You haven't seen them yourself?
Mm-mm. No, the last minstrel we had through here was this guy had this really, really obnoxious accent. I don't even know how to describe it. And he kept saying he was some guy called the Monsieur. He was out this way. And he was here to like wow and dazzle everyone. And he sucked. He was terrible, a terrible performer. He actually got laughed out and I felt bad.
Oh, I've never heard of this monsieur. Please tell me more.
I don't know a lot about him. I remember he did really shitty card tricks.
Oh.
That's really all I can tell you. He had a really bad accent, and he tried to do some card tricks and then just kind of left after a while. But that's the last we've had in this area.
Insight check.
Go for it.
Just because I never insight people and then we're all lied to all the time.
You believe
Oh.
him completely.
Yeah, this guy's never seen a violin in his life.
You're surprised he knows the word violin.
Bizarre. Well, Mr. Scratch, we're not going to find any traces around here. We better get going.
All right.
So are you guys going to head out due east across the plains, or are you going to head out along the road?
What is the fastest as the crow flies?
Due east across the plains.
Let's hack it.
Right. So your journey is relatively calm. You guys actually pass through a thick cusp of trees. It's not quite a forest, but you can kind of see where it's becoming a forest with bright, vibrant red leaves and bark so rich, dark brown, it's almost black. And the leaves are just very softly swaying in a non-existent wind. And occasionally you'll see one fall, and the leaves are almost the perfect shape of a heart.
As we're trotting through, I'm gonna, like, if a leaf falls towards me, I'm gonna try to snatch it so I can press it.
Okay. Yeah, occasionally the leaves will fall, and you're able to catch one pretty easily, Augie. They flow and they fall rather slowly. It's very, if you were with anyone else besides Scratch, you could say this was almost romantic. How they fall and they float and twist ever so gently. And
Wait a
as you
second.
are you telling me you and Augie have romantic intent?
You said if it was with anyone else but Scratch.
Are you saying that you and Augie have romantic intent?
I mean, no, but I'm saying it. It doesn't automatically mean just because Scratch is there, it wasn't still have. Bah.
It's just
Don't get tail hurt, all right?
It's already hurt.
Look,
Don't get any
you
more
and
tail
I are
hurt.
going to have to talk about your tail at some point. Look, if you had brought up the question, I would have said if you were with anyone but Augie. So don't think this is a one-sided thing. You two are too platonic to have these feelings for each other.
Shiver, and I don't know why.
I'm walking on your grave.
Yee.
It's okay to do romantic stuff with your homies.
100%.
Sure, yeah. Just not Mr. Scratch.
Augie,
Mr. Scratch is like a brother. I'm gonna lean over to the pony and Mr. Scratch. And one, I'm gonna address the pony because I can talk to it. And I'm gonna say, how you doing, little fella? Is your passenger treating you okay? He's not kicking you too hard, is he? Because I can smack him in the back of the head for you.
No, this has been a rather pleasant trip. Honestly, it's probably been one of the nicest I've had in a while.
Your voice is so low, pony. I was taken aback.
I was waiting for somebody to talk to the pony.
The pony,
Scratch?
voiced by Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Scratch, something strange to you. You also hear the pony talking.
Oh my gosh, you can hear. Wait, you talk to animals, Mr. Scratch?
Not usually.
Oh, can my horse talk? I'm so excited. I'm so sorry. Did I ignore you? Can you speak hello? Am I doing okay? Do you need me to get off? Do you want to ride me? Not you nasties.
That last
Phrasing.
that is gonna get taken out of context so quick. That's gonna be the next YouTube short. I can feel it.
I mean,
Ride a
Baldur's
horse.
Gate has a
Saving
bear.
Augie.
What's the non-binary word way of saying that's what she said? That's what they said?
Yeah.
That's what they said.
I would
Mhm.
assume yes. Yep. Brought that on myself. Yep.
You did in fact walk directly into that.
Do you need a break? An apple? Do you get apples? Do you like apples? Am I assuming too much?
Are we
So
not
you-
concerned that I can understand the horse?
I wanted to make sure the other horse didn't feel left out first, Mr. Scratch.
So you get no response from the horse, but the pony. Oh, don't mind him. He's very shy. I typically do the talking for both of us. And what is this apple that you speak of?
And I'll rustle through my bag. Do I have a random snack apple? I know I keep snacks in my bag, but is an apple one of them?
I am absolutely going to give you apple slices for this. I'm 100%. I'm not even giving you just the apple. I'm giving you the bag of appy slices.
Rolo loves those.
Exactly.
Here, and I'll rustle through my pouch, and I put in Rolo's pouch because I know he's gonna want to wake up and have a snack, and then two, I'm like, I'm gonna hold it. This is food. You don't have to take it if you don't want it, but it's very good. And I'll lean over and kind of put it out there for him.
The pony takes the slice and he eats it. Oh my! This is fascinating. It's quite delicious. It's
right. It's sweet and crispy and crunchy.
Oh, it is delightful. No, we don't have anything down here like this. And he kind of like swings his head up. And you, fine gentlemen, do you also partake in these apple?
Is it talking to me?
I would assume that you were probably one of the only fine gentlemen tilted upwards behind him, yeah.
Yes, I am sorry. Did I not make that very clear? I'm terribly sorry.
That's on us. We didn't even introduce ourselves. You can call me all you may, and this is Mr. Scratch.
Captain.
There it is.
Yes, I believe you had been introduced. I believe you had been introduced to us as captain and first mate. Excellent, prestiged titles. Very good, very good. We are deeply honored to be your escorts through this lovely time of day.
Yes, I eat an apple a day.
He eats a dozen apples a day. Keep Lachlan away.
I heard somebody say that on the street one day, and I took it to heart.
Augie was trying to give you well-intended health advice.
Right, I try to ensure that he eats more than the crickets off the deck. And I accidentally advised him against medical services.
Lachlan comes in the room, Scratch just holds up an apple and takes a bite, and he's like trying to make him see that he's actually eating the apple.
And then just walks out of the room.
Lachlan walks into the room, Scratch pulls an apple out, Lachlan hisses and retreats.
Points to the apple, points to the door.
Apple! How did you know?
Lachlan just happy that Scratch is eating healthier.
My God. Do you talk to other people too? Or just, like, I don't normally hear the voices of you?
Oh, nothing to be worried about at all. No. My companion and I, we are two of a kind, as you could say. I myself am Lord Bartholomew Westington Sugar Cube III, and he is my esteemed compatriot, also Lord Bartholomew Westington Sugar Cube III. We don't know why we were named the same, but we know that we are.
Is there anything you prefer to go by than the full stretch of that?
I prefer Bartholomew, he prefers Sugar Cube. It's just easier that way.
Oh my God. I like, Sugar Cube, I'm going to give you scratchies behind the ear. Not if that's okay.
Sugar Cube kind of picks his head up and then starts nodding very enthusiastically.
I give him scritchies behind the ear. And I also offer an apple slice.
He twists his neck up, trying to keep his head pressed into your hand for scritchies while also taking the apple.
Right, I got long arms. We're good.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those moments that he's a unique one for sure. He takes it and you just kind of hear, "Oh wow, oh that's so good." And then he goes quiet again.
I was wondering, since y'all, at least, some of y'all like to be a little chit-chatty, did you overhear the question that I asked to your stable hand about a violinist?
Ah, yes. The man with the music machine, yes. We have heard many stories of these music machines, but have yet to find a way to enjoy the craft ourselves. But I have heard rumors. The mayor's talk as only mayors can. Pardon my assumption. But yes, there is some reports of people being. That is what the two leggies are called. People, right? The people being swayed and charmed and dancing to music. And this person, this people person would just appear out of nowhere and begin playing these beautiful, charming yet sad songs. And then would
He
begin
only
to
appear when music was already playing?
No, I'm terribly sorry. I misspoke. He would appear, or they. Is that how the peoples do that?
It's up to each individual person, but they, when you don't know, is probably best.
They would appear, and then the music would begin, and then the other peoples would begin to dance and sing along as if they knew the words, and then they would begin to speak about another one of the peoples, the King Zypher man, and say terrible, mean, nasty things. Then, when the people were very angry and very, very upset, the music would stop and he would disappear, leaving no trace behind.
Is a conundrum. Do you know if any of the animals have been charmed or just the people persons?
Oh. From what I've heard is that, yes, the animals are also charmed. It's a very powerful music-y thing.
Assume they meant scratch the kobold. Rack that little brain of yours, buddy.
I don't think I know any hippies with guitars.
It's a violin, and how do you know they're a hippie? What is a hippie?
People who play music for money on the street.
A bard?
Okay.
I've never heard them referred to as hippies.
Well, you must not hang out with many kobolds.
Are you talking like negatively? Is that a slur?
No. It's just a word that encompasses all.
Wink, wink.
No slur. No slur.
No sir, no slur.
Yeah,
No, I don't.
No, sir.
I don't really know anyone who plays instruments. I mean, we knew one bard, but that was a tiefling. That was a she, and she's locked up.
Huh.
Tight. I actually
Wasn't your
visited her.
friend a bard? That one that we met by Zaru's family.
Oh my god, I can't remember.
The triplets?
No,
No.
the tabaxi.
Oh. Hmm. Yes. Yes.
Wouldn't it reason that they might know other bards?
I mean, I guess so. It makes sense. But again, they're above ground, not down here. I don't.
We were above ground and not down here. It seems that Look, I'm just trying to connect the dots before we run into something that we then be lulled into.
I mean, it's quite possible, I suppose.
I mean, think back in that big old brain of yours, and I don't know, maybe ask God for help if you've ever known a fucking bard.
I remember the bard now.
Oh, yes, you very much remember the bard, Scratch.
I mean, I've known 2 bards now.
3.
3.
3?
3.
One with your patient.
Quiet there, Yurei.
One was
So
my
Scratch.
patient.
Who are you trying to save?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I wasn't even thinking.
I know you weren't.
Ah, dang it. Okay. Well, I mean, there's the tiefling, there's the tabaxi, and then there's Opal.
And wouldn't it make sense for one of those people to, I don't know, sow discourse in this place?
I mean, the first one doesn't like me very well anymore, and the second one, that one's
Also
probably
doesn't
fine.
like us.
I don't know about that, but and Opal, I mean, well, whatever's controlling Opal. Yeah, you're probably right.
Look, I know a lot of times that I don't get the connections right. You know, my web weaver is kind of hit and miss when trying to jump to the next, I don't know, conclusion. But I think this time we're all missing a bit. You know, we did not put shit together before we all embarked.
But didn't I could have swore we had like attempted to track Opal, and didn't we?
Track him how? Can any of us scry on him? Can any of us locate object or creature?
I could have swore we had somebody else scry on Opal
You soul.
because we used the journal, right?
You tracked his soul. You didn't track his body.
That's right. We tracked the soul and not the body. Okay. These thoughts are going through the head.
I can locate object. If we knew something that he would be carrying, I've never seen the violin, so I can't explicitly, unless you know. Wait, did Opal have a violin on them the few days that I would have been around?
Had one when I met him.
Opal probably would have had the violin on him, but you probably never saw it, Augie, because when you had met Opal, he was very much towards the tail end of the possession, so he probably wouldn't have used it because it is a very unique violin. Scratch absolutely has seen it. He's seen it multiple times.
Can you, as we're walking, can you sketch it out?
Yeah, I can easily do that. Hold on. Okay, so I will pull out my all-purpose tool
Very good.
and turn it into a sketcher's quill, because I can turn it into any kind of tool.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll begin to sketch the I'll begin to sketch.
Okay. Let's see. Give me a performance check for this one.
I get my proficiency because I'm using my tool, so
Yes. Very good. So, Scratch, you're able to draw out this violin almost perfectly. You know, of course, you're from your direct memory. It's not 100%, but it is about as close as you could possibly come.
not 100%. Never mind.
Not 100%.
I was gonna
You
laugh.
flash of genius it.
No.
Well, you also never had the chance to completely study the violin, so you don't know exactly every detail of it.
True.
From what you've seen of it, from when you've observed Opal playing it, you're able to recreate it about exactly from your memory, but you know you're not 100% seeing it.
So Scratch would finish drawing and hand it off to Augie as we continue to ride towards our destination.
I would study it, and as our destination becomes like closer, I'd say as we reach the edge, I'm gonna cast locate object.
Okay. So, Augie, you do in fact sense this violin.
Shut up, it's working.
What?
It's-
While
it's
it's
really
working.
far away.
I said shut up, it's working.
The violin is really far away,
Uh-huh.
but it is definitely, it's definitely in motion. You know that for sure. And it seems to be going up.
So like a little thread like goes up.
Yeah. So this really thin thread, and it seems to keep getting thinner the longer you hold the spell. But you can feel it. It's going almost in the same direction you guys are,
Like
and it's going up a little bit.
I like yup, and then I say follow me, and I like full gallop.
Okay.
Scratch follows as well.
Very good. So as you guys are running, the thread, Augie, that you're holding, and you are trying so hard to hold on to it, you can feel that it's getting to the edges of this spell, and you are trying so hard to hang on to it, but it disappears. You guys get about here, and you're by one of the little mushroom groves, and the thread is gone.
I cast it again.
Okay. And it's there. It's just you're the edges of this thread. You are trying so hard, but you can tell that it is just out of this range. Even as you're sprinting as fast as you can, whatever this
I
is
think
moving
it's
faster.
headed towards the surface access point.
Yes, you can definitely tell it's heading that direction. You don't know if it's heading through the surface access area, but you can definitely tell it's going that direction.
As we're galloping forward, I like tilt my head back, and I say, "He's running for the surface.
That's a predicament.
Do we just go and connect, or do we stop and hope we can find him again?"
It's not good to try and engage without the rest of the group.
What if we don't engage? In what way? I was thinking we just, talk and gather some information, and then I get a good look in case we have to do this again.
Well, first mate, if that's what you feel like, let's go then.
Full speed gallop towards the surface access area.
Okay. Do you still have locate object up?
Yes.
Okay. So, Augie, as you guys approach the surface access point, you guys are over the hills, this little doldrums area. You're able to get there. When you come to the fishing market, the thread is gone again. It's completely gone. And roll perception for me, both of you. You both notice immediately riding up to this market, this town is in shambles. This is in disarray. This is like people are fighting, people are going after each other, there's screaming, there's cursing going on. It is absolute chaos.
He was just here. I mean,
It would seem so. Well, let's, I mean, shouldn't we try and calm this down here?
yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I just don't have anything on me magically that's gonna help.
Well, first, real quick, I'm gonna try and use Arcana to, well, no. Detect magic to see if there are any kind of spell or effects on the people here, since I know he's a bard.
Yes, there is the area that you guys are in. Once you get into the town square, there is magic everywhere. Pretty much every person in this area has been charmed.
Charm magic. Okay, well, I mean, this is simple enough. 1 second. Where is it? No. So I'm going to pull out a little concoction of some dirt and alchemical compounds and mica powder, and I'm going to toss it up into the air and shoot it with my pistol as I say, "Begone!" and cast Dispel Magic.
Excuse me.
On the charmed effect.
Right. So as this shot rings out, you see people drop to the ground. And you see people are panting and just kind of helping each other up after a minute. But whatever this spell was draining.
Ta-da!
Good job.
I get down off the pony and start to help people. Like, if they fell face first, I roll them over so they don't suffocate.
Yeah, I do the same thing, but I'm like checking for injuries and because said people were fighting. And then kind of at the same time, I'm like, man, this is crazy. What just happened to y'all? Like, just trying to saddle up some information. Like, how long ago did the bard pass through?
Mm-hmm. So, both of you speak Elvish, right?
That's an excellent question for me that I should have remembered.
Yeah.
But yes.
Well, Scratch, I also know you speak Undercommon, so I'm less concerned about you.
Both.
All right. Actually, Augie, while you're looking that up,
I said I speak Elvish.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't hear you. I thought you said you were looking at it. I'm so sorry. That's on me. I'm actually going to go ahead and pause on you guys just for a minute so we can get another one of our groups going.
Yeah.
And then I will tell you guys what you have learned.
Sounds good.
All right. Lachlan and Kyrius. You're next. So Scratch and Augie have headed out, going due east, and arguing about food on the way. What would you like to do?
Kyrius, did the captain tell us where we were supposed to investigate or what we were supposed to do?
I'll be honest, Lachlan, the last few hours are all kind of a blur. I know it's only been a few hours, but it feels like a lot longer, you know?
I have a theory about
weeks.
So there are times during our travels where it feels like we have spent a long time in a single place, even though it's only been a few days. I think a temporal displacement spell is affecting us.
I could see that. I don't know a lot about those kind of magics, but I could see that. More directly to your question, I think we're supposed to be going to one of the towns.
So, the captain said that they were going to the east, the fishing markets. Do we want to investigate something? Maybe where they have some good food, known for their culture, maybe their medical practices.
I don't know what anybody could teach me about food necessarily, but I suppose if that's where you want to try to find.
I mean, I figure our captain has probably chosen the one that's most likely to pan out, so we may as well investigate, of course, but, help the group in other ways.
I will follow your lead, Doctor.
Kami, are there any of Zypher's attendants around?
None of Zypher's personal attendants, but there's guards and there's like staff around, but none of Zypher's personal attendants. You guys are in the main courtyard.
I'm gonna go up to one of the guards and I'm gonna say, good sir, this investigation, it requires that we know the best place to eat within Zypher's kingdom.
And he kind of looks at you and just kind of like, well, I would suppose that would depend on what you're going for. Well, if you're going for fish or seafood, you can't beat the market town. That's just, you can't get anything better than fresh. If you're looking for something more like Hellhen, then you could head back to the west. There's a great little ranch out that way. Again, nothing's better than fresh, and they have all their own animals there. If you're looking for more of your surface cuisine, there's a town down south that specializes in it. They've got these like really good, like it's a meat patty on like a roll with vegetables.
Garius? Oh, and
Sure.
do any of those places, except for the village to the east, have they noted disturbances?
Oh, yes. There have been reports in 4 towns, and as you are some of Lord Zypher's trusted, I feel this would be appropriate to tell you. Yes, funnily enough, 2 of the towns that I just mentioned are some of the ones that have had issues. I don't know if that's coincidence, magic, or fate, but I think I need to talk to my therapist. This is happening again.
Are they the 2 towns that would happen to have access to the surface?
Well, I mean, technically all of the towns have access to surface, but the fishing market has the best direct access. But I mean, the town that you guys came in for, you guys actually came in through the old passages, right? That's not just rumors. You guys actually came through the old kingdom, like the old back passages. You guys came through the forest.
I'll be honest, I was tripping the entire time.
Well, the town to the west, if that's the way you guys came, would technically have the next best access. But, I mean, nobody really goes that way.
Let's go there.
Yeah, sure. Which way is that? West?
Yes, so if you guys head down the mountain, you'll see the softwood forest, or kind of the pinky trees, and you go straight to the west. Can't miss it. It's the town. Kind of some weird hilly terrain, but you could take the road. It's going to take you like a day to get there, or you can cut straight through, and it'll be right there. And yes.
Are there any dangers if we cut straight through?
I mean, you might see a cave cat, but they're more scared of you than you are of them. They're cute little bastards if you can get your eye on one, but they're skittish little fuckers. They live in the softwoods.
I kind of feel like being around nature, and I suspect you probably have been deprived. Do you want to go through the woods?
I was actually thinking that, plus it saves us time.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Do we have everything we need? Are we ready to head off now?
I can't think of anything else we're missing. I will just turn to Brutus and say, Brutus, be good, protect the king, don't mention your past life.
I like to imagine just Brutus does like a big dopey salute with his paw and smacks himself in the nose.
Oh, that's most likely. He is the most adorable goof. Yeah, I think we will head off through the woods then.
All right. So, much like with Augie, May, and Scratch, as you guys head out, you exit out the doors, and you appear about 2 feet from the road, and you are dropped just about immediately outside of the lush softwoods grove.
Oh, I hate it when people teleport me without me knowing.
Kyrios
Oh.
throws.
That's okay, buddy. It happens to everyone the first few times.
Ugh, that is awful.
I hand Carius some ginger.
Kyrios chews on it.
I'm going to kind of study the trees as I go along, and after a while, I'll say, so Carius, I noticed that you've been training a lot harder than most of the other people on the ship. Is there a specific reason for that?
Not so much specific, just a lot of you have a lot of powerful abilities, and I just want to make sure that when push comes to shove, that my skills are at their peak to help out where I can.
I understand that.
I have a few magics that I've learned along my travels, but not near the things that a lot of you can do, and I want to make sure that I am more of a boon and less of a liability.
Well, if it helps you at all, we were all chosen by whoever this mysterious benefactor is, and if they chose you, then I'm sure it's for a good reason. From what I've seen, you're careful and you consider it. You look at your options and you don't make rash decisions, which is definitely something that this group could use more of.
What are both of your passive perceptions?
45.
45? You know what?
Did you just say 45?
I'll take
did.
it.
I did, but it's only 19.
Oh, well, mine is 15.
Okay, very good, very good.
26.
Kyrius, you're not there. Kyrius, you notice that while you and the doctor have been walking, the forest has gone completely silent.
I stop Lachlan, just put my hand out, and so it hits his chest, or hits their chest, and we stop for a moment. And I'm just kind of glancing around. Do you hear that?
I pull out my wand and I say, I don't hear anything.
Exactly.
That's not good.
Can I look around and see if I see anything out of the ordinary?
Absolutely. Roll me an investigation.
And can I kind of connect with my religious connection with nature to see if I can sense anything?
Yes. Go ahead and give me a religion. Okay. So as you two kind of take more of a defensive posture, Kyrius, you actually notice this first before Lachlan does, but Lachlan, you're going to notice something different. Kyrius, as you look up into the trees, you see about a dozen pairs of eyes staring at you. Lachlan, you have a sense that not only are you being watched, but there is something about this area that is different than the nature you have seen before. But Kyrius, you see these eyes, and they're all watching you. They're watching your every move. And they are, in fact, going to get a band together from the 80s and write a song about it.
Without a word, I just kind of point up to move Lachlan's attention to what I'm seeing.
I look up and do I recognize what these eyes might belong to?
Not a clue. You have never seen eyes like these before. These are eyes that are completely black from sclera to pupil. Completely black. Hyreus, roll me a history.
I'm not particularly good at history, as is evident by the.
I'm actually going to give you a little bit of something. You think you've seen these before. You don't know where. You don't know when. But you have seen eyes like this before.
They seem familiar to me. I'm not sure how.
I'm going to just touch Kyrius on the shoulder, and I'm going to cast tongues. You think you know them? You're probably better to negotiate than I am. They'll be able to understand you.
We can try this. I have a 0 in charisma.
Kyrius, once Lachlan touches you, you hear little whisperings in the trees.
They're in the trees.
Tall ones and tall ones don't come here very often. Tall ones, did they bring food? Did they bring snacks? Did they bring treats? Why are the tall ones here? Tall ones. Why are there so many tall ones?
Hello? What are you?
It speaks. The tall one speaks. Does it speak to us? Does it speak to us?
I am speaking to you.
You hear more almost excitable sounds. Kyrius, give me a dex save. Gorgeous. You managed to bring your hands up just in time to catch this completely black ball of fur.
Hello there.
It speaks. You speak the tongues. You have come to the forest. Not many tall ones come to the forest. Why have you come to the forest?
I look at Lachlan. You can't hear it, can you?
I assume I hear chittering.
You hear kind of a weird combination of meowing and squawking.
Not currently.
It's asking us why we're here.
Passing through, investigating.
We're just moving through toward the town to the west.
The town with the man who makes music, the town with the man who makes bad music.
Everyone's a critic, I suppose, but yes.
Are you with the man who makes music? And you feel the points of like a whole bunch of little claws like dig into your armor? Or are you here to stop the bad music?
We are definitely not with the man who makes the music. We need to find out more of what he's doing and why before I can tell you if we're here to stop him.
He comes to the town. He makes the noises, the music noises. He makes the people angry. And then people stop coming. They stop coming to the woods, to the forest. They do not enjoy exploring the forest. He makes them angry and mad.
And then people not coming to the forest makes you angry and mad?
Yes. When the people come to the forest, they bring life. They bring treats, they bring snacks, they bring foods. They bring power. They bring energy. They bring balance. No people, no life, no forest. Bad music man means no music, means no forest.
Well, in that case, we're definitely trying to see why he is doing this and help him to stop making everybody angry.
Good.
They know about the minstrel?
They seem to. They say that he makes everybody in the town angry, and then they don't come to the forest, and they like people coming to the forest. It seems like a very symbiotic relationship between them and the people.
Why do they like people coming into their forests?
People bring food and life to the forest, and I assume in turn. Actually, I'm going to ask. I'm going to turn back to the creature. Do you give anything to the people in turn for what they bring to the forest?
Yes. We give luck, blessings. We give gifts.
Oh. Yeah, it's definitely symbiotic. They are giving gifts and blessings in return for food and things that the people bring to them.
Fascinating.
I'm going to pull out some of the bacon, which is probably, on the edge of going bad right now. But I'm gonna see if this little guy in my hand will eat any of it.
Okay. You pull it out, and he kind of sniffs at it and kind of like it kind of looks at you and looks at it, and it kind of licks at it and goes, you bring food, you bring goodness. Yes, you are forest friends.
Are you okay if we spend a little bit of time here to rest? I know we haven't gone far, but I'd like to give a gift of my own to the forest.
Sure, we can do that. And after I finish that, I'm going to take out this 1 pound of applewood smoked bacon that I have, and I'm just going to dump it on the forest floor.
As you do that, you see about 20 of these things just descend from the treetops. They kind of look like halfway between a soot sprite and a tribble.
They're cute. Do you think these are the forest cats?
I was picturing something more feline in nature.
Not cat.
It says it's not a cat.
It almost, Kyrius, if you thought this thing could look offended, you would think it looked offended at being called a cat.
I think we should not refer to it as a cat again. What are you?
We are forest sprites. We live in the forest. We exist in the forest. We are the forest. And it
Forest sprite.
As you're talking to this thing, Kyrius, you're becoming more familiar with its expressions. You can kind of see where its mouth is. You can kind of pick up, and it's studying you just as intently as you're studying it.
Did you want to sit for a minute, Doctor, and get to know these things a little better?
Yes. I sit down and I begin to pull out some what look like ritual components.
I don't think we're under any time constraints, so.
And I'm gonna cast plant growth, which would cause basically every plant within 100-foot radius to begin to like grow upwards.
Okay. Can you link the spell in the chat?
Sure thing.
Okay. So the area that you guys are in, you see the trees. They grow upwards, and their branches thicken, and the leaves thicken, and a lush carpet of moss starts to overgrow, and you start to see mushrooms popping up in between the moss as everything grows upwards. And the little creatures are all chittering and chirping almost as this is happening. And Kyrius, the one that you have in your hands, it doesn't seem to be talking anymore. It's just kind of making excited noises.
I think they like that.
The spirits of the forest often like it when the forest does well.
I'll turn my attention back to the little tribal forest sprite and say, what do you know about the Music Man other than that he plays bad music?
He's cold. Cold like the king. Death, smells of death, decay, and rot. Bad man. Force does not like him.
I'm relaying all of this to Lachlan in real time, like a translator or interpreter.
Very good.
I'm nodding. Definitely sounds like a man.
Music hurts the people, hurts the forest, hurts the king.
So it's music of a magical nature, then?
It is what you surface walkers call magic. It's not a magic of nature. It is not a magic of the trees. It is a magic made of music, made of energy.
If we have to stop him by force, do you have any insight on how we might do that?
No. We have not seen this bad man be harmed. We have only seen the anger of the people, angry at the king.
If we go to this town, we might be able to break the charm, and then the people will return to their relationship with the forests. But
Maybe.
that doesn't stop them from being charmed again.
Are they only angry when the man shows up, or does he make them angry and then even when he leaves they stay angry?
When he left, people were angry. The man came. Before the man came, people were not angry. People were happy. There was life. The man came. They were angry. They did not come to the forest. They stayed away, far away. The man has left, and the people are still angry. Angry at the king. Do not
What are your
know
thoughts, Doctor?
if the people stay angry when the man leaves, but the man makes people angry.
Well, if he's using magic and weaving it with music, I have read of a spell called mass suggestion that could explain these. And if it's a plot by the apprentice, then he could quite possibly have some sort of artifact that would make such a spell stronger. It can be broken. It's not too difficult to. I could do it, certainly. And that would be the solution here. Break the spell, people go back to normal.
Sounds like that's what we need to do then. We need to get to that town and start talking to the people.
For the best effects, it would be best if we were able to get everyone in one place. There's just there's one other problem. I don't have the components for the spell I would need prepared, so we would need to spend some time getting that ready.
I don't know when Scratch is expecting us back, or when they're returning, for that matter.
Well, if worst comes to worst, we can we can quite easily message them so that they know what's happening and they know the situation.
Almost like I can hear his voice in the back of my head sometimes.
That sounds horrifying.
It is. I've had nightmares.
I would never want voices in my head.
OC for a second. Unless we're going to retcon this, I don't think Kyrios ever got any magical means of communicating with other people.
Oh, I have one.
We ordered more rings, but we haven't been where our mail could get to us.
Yeah, you guys haven't exactly been at a convenient post office.
Okay, well, I'll look forward to that when we ever get back to the bloody ship.
But some of us do have rings still, so.
We should,
Means of communication exist.
if you have a means of getting a hold of Scratch and speaking with him and seeing what he thinks we should do, I'd feel a lot more comfortable going forward. If we had a timeline and anything he wanted us to look for while we were there. And as I'm saying this, I'm pulling out one of my rations that I've been carrying around, and I'm opening it up and just laying it on the ground too for these sprites.
Okay. The one that you have been talking to has actually now moved up and is just sitting on your shoulder.
I'm going to cast Sending to Scratch. I need to count. Ran into forest sprites. They have information about minstrel. That's 9. Pretty 10. Sure is using suggestion. That is 15, so I have 10 more. Please give approximate timeline. Is timeline 1 or 2 words?
1 word.
I think it's one word.
Yep.
Timeline for return. Otherwise, going to dispel. And that's the message that Scratch gets.
Can you type that out? It was hard to follow as you were counting.
Okay, so
like the pauses
met.
made my brain go meh.
Forest sprites seem to know about minstrel. Think they are using suggestion. Please give approx timeline. Otherwise, going to dispel.
I'll only respond if the DM tells me I can.
Yeah, you would have been probably en route and riding at this point, so
Up to you.
here's a message mind. Yeah, you can respond.
Okay, please give approximate timeline.
Timeline on what? Would you have said that out loud?
Oh, my original. I do have 4 extra words. I think my original message timeline of return to castle.
You're not just gonna go boop boop ba-doop.
You pooping? I do that to my husband all the time.
Okay, so I don't think answer. Okay, this is a question I've always kind of had about this. When you say this, when you do sending, you have to say the words that get sent. And it says the creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender if it knows you, and can answer in a like manner immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it does say can. It doesn't say, is it automatic that my first 25 words get sent? Because that could be awkward. But yeah, it says can. It doesn't say and will answer in a like manner immediately.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to have intent behind the response.
Yeah, so I would definitely say it out loud. Like, I hear Lachlan.
Well, what did they found?
I say the words. Met forest sprites seem to know about menstrual. Think they are using suggestion. Please give approximate timeline. Otherwise, going to dispel.
I mean, we basically came to that conclusion ourselves, right? I think we just have a little bit more information than they do.
Okay, so we'll call out over ring to regroup. That's 7. Use best judgment.
Uh-oh.
That's 10. Avoid combat situations. That's 13.
Tell him we think we know who it is, or wait until we get there.
We may know bard identity.
But gone. But above ground.
But now target above ground. 2 more words.
You pooping?
You beat me to it.
No.
I can't wait to see Jester animated.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. That is what you ended with?
Well, I mean,
Talking horses.
it's an important piece of information.
I think they are personally important. I don't know if they really adhere to the. Oh well, we did get a lot of
Look.
information. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Lachlan receives that and just goes, "Old horses talk."
What?
Kyrie's like, what? The ranger says, what?
Out loud, no context, in the middle of silence in the forest.
Lachlan just says all horses talk.
Magic is just wonderful for awkward moments.
I mean, also we didn't tell him when we're going back, but are we still trying to? Did you want us to gallop over to the surface access and me cast my one last time cast locate object, see if they are within the area still worth pursuing, or just call it a loss?
I mean, how long does that spell last?
It's 10 minutes.
Mine lasts up to 10 minutes too.
You have that spell, and you have me over here burning slots.
I have detect magic. That's how I use detect magic to find the thing.
I have that too in case you run out.
Yeah, we should probably cast it again when we get there. But yeah, this isn't our time. We were just answering.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Go forth and Lachlan.
Yeah, I'll turn to Carius and I say, Scratch was not terribly helpful.
What? There was plenty of help.
Scratch, from across the way, you suddenly feel very offended, and you're not. You're sure Blackwood has something to do with it, but you don't know why.
I'm always sure he has something to do with it.
But the captain did say that he will call out over the rings when it's time to regroup. So we're good to go and investigate the town, see if we can help the people there.
See if I ever
Okay.
put my faith in Lachlan's judgment again.
I feel like if Scratch were here, he'd be very proud of you.
You know, I think he looks up to me.
I'm sure to him you're a very valued member of the group, and everything that you bring to the table is valued.
Oh no, he looks up to me because he's short. I sling my component bag back onto my belt and I say, "Is there anything else we want to say to the sprites before we leave?"
I say to the sprites, is there any other information you have that might help us before we get back on our journey toward the town?
Not sure. Return when you leave. Blessings to give.
They've asked us to return before we leave down here. They have blessings for us.
I bow deeply and I say, "And may Pan's blessings be with you." And I produce a single, I'm gonna say an orchid with prestidigitation.
Okay.
Is the one still on my shoulder?
Yep.
I'm going to very gently take him off and set him down on the ground with his friends.
You feel little paws just kind of holding onto your finger. And it just kind of, it sits there and just kind of looks at you for a second before you blink and it's gone. It has disappeared back into the darkness of the forest.
And the others too?
Yep. All the food that you guys had left out is gone. The sprites are gone. They're just gone. All the offerings and everything gone.
I'm gonna turn to Kyrius and say, "Thank Pan that we were the ones to run into them. I'm not sure how the others would have dealt with sprites at the forest."
I think Augie would have been okay with them. But yes, otherwise I agree.
Augie's okay with everyone. They're social butterfly.
I envy them in that, actually. I feel like since I've joined the crew, I've been fairly standoffish with each of you. Not out of any malice that I have in my heart for any of you. I'm just not the best of social situations, and I feel like I haven't had a lot of time to really get to know any of you on an individual basis. Except for Masaru, a little bit with the training we were doing. But Augie seems to have a grasp of that I'm not sure I'll ever have, at least not at that level.
I'm sure they'd be happy with giving you some tips if you wanted to ask them. They do seem to like helping people.
Kind of shoot a leveled look at Lachlan. I'm not sure how I would approach that conversation. Oh, hi, Augie. Can you teach me how to be more friendly with people? That just seems awkward.
Yeah, true. I have some drugs that could help.
So the town is this way, and I point to the west and start
That's perfect. Perfect.
I'm going to be keeping my eye out for alchemy ingredients and spell components as we go.
Anything specific you're looking for? Because that's a big, broad stroke there.
I want a golden skull worth 300 gold pieces. I'm joking. I already have one of those. I would be looking for specifically medicinal mushrooms and herbs.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's plenty of mushrooms around. You don't know if any of them are specifically medicinal because you don't recognize any of them.
I'm just gonna pick all of the mushrooms that I see, keep them separated in different satchels, and that are just marked in clear red common, untested, do not eat.
Hope none of them explode.
Okay, so you guys are you're still in the forest and you're taking every mushroom?
Oh no.
Every single one? Every
As long as
mushroom?
it doesn't slow us down.
Okay.
Just picking mushrooms at a rate that still maintains forward momentum towards the town.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go over your mushrooms after game.
Easy.
So you guys make it to the town, and when you get there, there is very much a sense of discontentment in the air. You see people walking around, and there's groups of people that are very quietly, you see people muttering and grumbling to themselves. There's very dark looks are cast around. Nobody is quite violent, but there is definitely a sense of discontentment in the air. Displacement.
Well, we have about 8 hours before my spell can be ready. Do we want to put up flyers to get people all in one spot so I can so that we can dispel this charm?
Do you have a means of making flyers?
I flick my hand and I produce a magical quill out of the air. Always.
And the parchment?
I look in my satchel and just a ream of parchment falls out. I can make 2.
Well, we should probably be strategic where we put the posters then. Do I get a sense from like looking around the town, any like well-trafficked areas or places where people are congregating, or like a shop that seems to be getting a lot of traffic?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people are congregated in the town circle. There's a big fountain in the area. There's a whole bunch of people there. There's definitely a few stalls that seem very well traveled. It looks like most of this town are in this area milling about because it does seem like it's a decently busy time. You know, people are still doing business. They're just, not happy about it.
Okay. This seems like a good area to have everyone congregate. It's, let's see. This spell is Dispel Magic, which is there. How many feet across is this square?
The square itself is probably about 100 feet across. There's a fountain in the middle that's about 10 feet across.
Okay. Yeah, if we can get the entire town to congregate here, maybe some sort of protest against Zypher. We know that that's what the minstrel seems to be like wanting people to do. So if we lean into that, we could get a mass congregation. I can end the effect within this square, basically. What do you think?
Will it be enough if we don't get everyone? Like, if we get the majority of the town, is that enough? Or can we? Well, does this plan hinge on getting everyone, or is it okay if one or two here or there don't come to our gathering?
Well, I can cast the spell multiple times once I have it prepared. I just can't. I can't cast it right now because it's not. I don't have the components for it.
I understand. I mean, then that sounds good to me. Sorry, hang on. Kyrius is deeper than that. That sounds good to me, then, I suppose.
Cool. Do you want to? I don't know how I feel about staying in the town tonight. Just with the descent and I mean, we don't exactly blend in here.
Is anybody looking at us? Like, do I catch anybody? Like,
Oh yeah, people are absolutely looking at you, but it's more like the curious glances. They're all very angry, curious glances, but people aren't really paying you a huge amount of attention. You do see a few people whispering, but you can't tell what they're whispering about.
Let's put up this flyer of a meeting, probably before everyone starts work tomorrow morning, and maybe we should go sleep in the forest.
I can set up a small perimeter around that will warn me if anybody comes in. So that might be a good idea. And it seems like we've made friends in the forest as well. So that might be a good idea. That might be the best bet.
Okay. I think. Yeah. Let's spend about an hour on the flyer. Put it somewhere that everyone will see. Maybe spread the word to a few of the people who look a little less angry at us, and then come back in the morning.
That sounds good to me.
All right, so you guys are heading back to the forest?
Do you need any rolls for any of that?
I will need... What languages do you two speak?
I have comprehend language and tongues, so all of them.
Okay, so what languages do you write?
Comprehend
I
language?
know Dwarvish, Elvish, Giant, Gnomish, Goblin, and Orc, and I've had success with speaking Elvish and Orc here, though the Elvish was a little weird.
Fair enough.
My language proficiencies are Common, Elvish, and Sylvan. So we would do it in Elvish, seeing as that seems to be the most likely for a crossover with the people who are here.
And I relate my story of the shopkeeper and the translation issues to Lachlan about how Elven was the language we started speaking in, and they speak a very archaic dialect of it. But yes, I think we could get our point across, but it's not going to be as clear as we want. The shopkeeper spoke really good Orcish, but I don't know if that's common to everybody.
I'd like to find some written Elvish, if possible.
You want to write this out? What do you want to find some Elvish?
Yeah, to compare like my knowledge of Elvish to the dialect and see if I can adjust my dialect.
Give me an investigation and then an intelligence check to try to match.
Investigation and intelligence. Oh no. I find one easily and I can't read it.
100%. You absolutely find some of this, but it is such an old, archaic version of Elvish. You're not going to be able to translate it exactly. You're pretty sure that they're going to be able to read it, but it's going to be like reading. For all of our American viewers, it's like trying to read either the Constitution. Actually, better one for more international folks. It's like trying to read the original Beowulf. We're talking old dialect.
I actually have a copy of Beowulf, and I just pulled it off my shelf. This is OOC, obviously. I can't read any of this.
I mutter something about how Germanic influences have corrupted our language to a point where it's unintelligible. And I pinned the flyer, which I think, and I'll check this with Kyrius first, basically says organized protest against the false King Zypher at whatever time, essentially 8 a.m. Please meet in Town Square so that the Lord may know our descent.
I guess that will work. I don't know how much of it they'll follow. Like I said, the language barrier before the shopkeeper and I began speaking Orcish was quite profound, but they will probably get the gist of what you're saying.
Oh, this will be fun then. Worst comes to worst, we spend a few days here, and I have to manually dispel as we go block by block.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
I'm gonna whisper as I'm writing this. Zypher, if you're watching me, please note I'm doing this to help and not actually organizing a protest against you. Please don't send the secret police after me.
You don't get a response.
I'm aware. I'm just
Just praying.
Okay. Shall we get some rest, my friend? After we pin this thing in the town square.
Yes, I think that would be a good idea.
All right. So you guys are back to the forest?
And I am going to put Dispel Magic as one of my spells. This is Cleric spell, so I'm going to take it off Magic Circle and put it on Spell Magic.
I am going to cast Alarm around our campsite.
All right.
Lachlan, do we want to take turns sleeping just in case?
Do we want to take turns sleeping? That's probably not the worst idea. If you take second watch, I'll take first.
That works.
All right.
And Kyrius goes to sleep.
Very good.
I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on Kyrius as he sleeps.
Okay. And then we will pick up with you guys next week. Halstrom and Rain. Who wants to go next?
I don't even remember what Halstrom was going to do.
You were either going to go off to explore one of the towns or something else. You guys had collected and had figured out that you probably should go investigate the towns, paired off, and then that's about where we ended.
Why am I being roped in with this investigation?
I don't know, man. Do you want to just... I mean... What is it that we're doing?
Want to check out the graveyard?
Bones?
Do not dig up the graves, that is disrespectful.
In my experience, the graves usually dig up themselves and attack us.
How long have you been fighting the undead?
Well, I'm 7, and started when I was 2.
Halstrom's just going to return to the library. He doesn't know. He's like, everyone's got this covered. There's more information to be read.
Brutus is gonna wander through the castle unattended and probably getting into trouble.
That's something we're going to address later. Rain!
Like, no, goodbye.
We're gonna, because he's gonna get in trouble with the cats, which is gonna get him in trouble with Zypher. Because depending on where Brutus goes, there's some dangerous stuff he could run into.
Halstrom's main mission / prime directive comes first above all else. And he is in an ancient library. He does not want to leave.
Halstrom's not the one I'm worried about.
By the way, just to note, you might want to check the duration on Shield of Faith.
I know, it was more of a symbolic gesture because I'm not using any of my spell slots, because presumably we're not getting attacked, and so Shield of Faith.
Fair enough.
Alright, so I flew to the town, disguised myself as someone that I've seen before, so I had a reference.
Yep.
And now I would just be kind of walking around.
Okay.
I would be stopping at stores or outdoor stalls, kind of like blending in, doing other things that other people are doing.
The general atmosphere in the town that you're in is there's a lot of discontentment. A lot of people are very upset. Everywhere you go, you hear people talking about how incompetent Zypher is, about how could we have let him stay in power this long? This is ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. And things like that.
And are they saying this in Elvish? Because I think that's the only language they and I have in common.
Yes, surprisingly, a lot of people are actually speaking Elvish. They're not actually speaking Undercommon, or the ancient Undercommon dialect.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yude,
Yes.
you have been in this area for a while. You have been hearing the same comments that Rain has been hearing. And you have also been hearing in Elvish, which is very surprising because most of the towns you guys have been to have been speaking the ancient Undercommon.
Huh.
And you're hearing the same comments about Zypher being no good as a ruler. You also see someone new coming into town who doesn't seem to have these same opinions. It's not anyone you've seen before, but they just kind of seem to be wandering around, and they don't seem to be sharing all of the same ideas. Rain, is there anything in particular that you're doing, or just kind of walking around?
I would also be looking for a sign of the ninja.
Good luck.
You know what? Roll me investigation. Yude, roll me stealth.
Gladly. Oh, that's Whisper.
Yeah, so Rain, no signs. Absolutely nothing.
Do I find anything else with my very good investigation roll? Because I'm not likely to get better than that.
You actually find a strange small box in the town square. And you pick it up, and Yude, you see this person in the town square pick up this box. And it's a small box it's very finely crafted. And it's made of a dark wood. It's almost black like ebony, but it has a totally different grain to it. It's definitely not ebony because it's not that dark, but it's super dark brown.
May I roll Arcana?
Please do. You don't get any particular magical sensings from this box. You think there's something, but there's also a lot of magic in the area that you're not sure if it's the box, if it's just around you. You're not sure.
And it was in the middle of the square.
Yes, but there's a fountain in this town also, and the box was just kind of. It looked like somebody had dropped it and then kind of kicked it, so it was kind of next to the fountain.
Okay,
The first thought is
I'll
dark
hold
wood.
that. I'll put it in my pocket.
The first thought, if it's a dark wood that's kind of brownish, is it walnut?
Maybe.
So yeah, I'm just gonna be kind of keeping an ear out for any possible conversations that might be of interest towards the investigation, or any clues about a musician or dissenters.
I'll sit by the fountain and pretty much do the same thing, because if I can't find the ninja, then I don't know where he is. And next best thing is information gathering.
You will never find the ninja.
I will never find the ninja.
If I can't.
And the ninja won't find you because you're disguised.
No,
Yeah.
the ninja probably just thinks I'm hella suspicious now.
Yeah. Can I roll an insight on this figure?
Go for it. You're definitely sure this is one of your party members. You're about 95% sure it's Rain. But it's kind of one of those. I've seen her disguised before.
Rain's not doing a very good job hiding her horns.
No, Rain, your disguise is good. You've only seen this person once.
How
Nobody else seems to pay any attention to you, your disguise, as far as they're convinced you're one of the townspeople. Yurei, on the other hand, sees right through you, sees directly through you. Soon as
Yeah,
you
so
walk in-
how disguise self works is that someone rolls insight against your deception, and if they beat you, they can tell that it's an illusion.
Yeah.
So there would probably be real wavy air above my head.
Yep. See.
There's a big red exclamation point.
You don't know it, Rain, but you feel like you're being watched.
I always feel like I'm being watched.
Somebody's watching me.
That's so metal.
You got cats, I'd expect nothing less.
But yes, general kind of stakeout.
General sneaky bullshit.
Yeah, we're both doing this. We're both kind of keeping watch. Unaware that the other is probably doing the same.
No, you're real well aware.
Fair.
Rain is also, I'm assuming, pretty sure that Yude is here somewhere also investigating, so.
Logic says that he would be here. That doesn't mean I'm going to find him here, but logic says this is the best place for him to be.
Yeah.
Good logic.
And as you two are just observing, you both hear conversations about not necessarily revolution and rebellion, but there definitely needs to be a change in leadership. A lot of the people around in this area, because you guys are the closest city to the capital,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people they like Zypher, but he's been a terrible king. He has been a distant monarch. He cares for his people, sure, but nobody ever sees him. He's never around. How do they know he actually cares and he's not just some wackadoo nut job holed up in some secret laboratory experimenting on people? How do they know that he actually cares about them? And that's what you are both hearing a lot of.
Good thing to address to him.
Ooh.
Wow. Actually, this works out pretty well. So, Rain, you are in the town square. You're by the fountain. It's a lovely fountain. It's rather large, and so you don't hear someone coming up behind you drunkenly ranting about how Zypher needs to be taken down. He needs to be removed from power. This is bullshit. He's a terrible king. Yude, you see all of this happening. You see this person basically coming drunkenly up right behind this person who you know is disguised and is about to come crashing into them, yelling and screaming about how Zypher needs to be stopped, he needs to be taken down, he needs to be removed from power. What you gonna do?
Does this person seem like just a normal drunken townsfolk?
This is a guard. This appears to be one of the town guards who is heavily intoxicated.
I mean, appearing out of the shadows and questioning a drunkard would not help with Zypher's public image. Just gonna watch this play out for now. If things go bad, then we act.
Okay. Rain, as you're sitting by the fountain, up behind you, you hear a loud voice. Hey, you kid. What do you feel about Zypher? You think he's a piece of shit? I think he's a piece of shit. He's a fucking piece of shit. He sits up in his castle all day. He's fucking up there acting like he's better than us. What do you fucking think of him, huh? You like him? You one of those sympathizers?
Of course not. What are you talking about?
And he plunks himself down on the fountain next to you and leans in, fairly shouting in your face, reeking of booze. You seem to be around these parts, so I'm just making sure. I haven't seen your face around here. You seem like a good kid, but you gotta understand that piece of shit up in that castle there. He doesn't care about us. He doesn't care about anybody down here. That's what the fucking violin guy was saying. He's fucking right, you know. He's somebody like him should be in charge here. Not somebody like that guy. Not somebody like that. You get it, right? You get it.
But like, where did violin guy supposed to replace him if we can't find him?
That's what I was saying too. These guys that come in, we should put somebody else on the front. We should march up to that castle. We should fucking demand Zypher hear the people. He doesn't fucking listen to us. That violin guy, he was saying some pretty fucking words. These are real pretty words. Then he fucking leaves. You can't trust people like that. They just fucking they're just like him. Just fucking like him.
Right? We should have vote.
We should storm the castle is what we should do. We should fucking march up those stairs. That's what we should do. We should fucking vote. Voting doesn't do shit. We should make Zypher hear us. We should just go fucking take the castle. You gonna come I'm gonna get a group. We're gonna go take the castle. Are you gonna come stand with us when we say the storm the castle?
You know what? I actually know a secret back way in. One of my old girlfriends showed me. She worked at the castle.
Oh, she's a good man. A good man right here. You guys hear? He starts rambling off in the middle of the square, and you actually see some people are kind of nodding along with him. You see that they are agreeing with him, and nobody besides him seems intoxicated, but they're definitely listening to him. And he kind of leans forward and he kind of wraps an arm around you. You and me, bud, we're gonna take Cass. We're gonna show that Eric bastard. We're gonna show him his little fucking friends. He brought surfies in. You don't bring surfies into the fucking Underdark. That's not what you do, man. You don't fucking do that. You get it. You get it. And he's just kind of like swaying as he's like pointing at you and just, you get it.
I'll tell you what, you get a bunch of people and you meet me back here in a couple hours and I will bring you to the secret entrance.
Yeah, we'll fucking do that. That's a great idea, man. You are one of the good ones. You man. When I'm king, because I'm gonna go fucking kill that man. But you're king. When I'm king, you're gonna be my fucking advisor. We're gonna fucking run this place right. And he gets up and he wobbles off. He's mostly upright. And you both can hear more people talking about how, that's a good idea. Zypher needs to be taken out of power. He was a good king, but he needs to be out of power. He's been in power too long. You can hear more mutterings and murmurings, and people are kind of slowly getting together to make this plan.
I'm gonna and I'm astride purposefully, like with great purpose, away from the fountain, like with my chest and
Very good.
step, just like, let's do this. And then I'm probably going to back to where I left my broom, write a little missive to Zypher and ask, like, hey, is there a back way into like your dungeons? Can you cast Dispel Magic? Need a reply back within the hour, and I'm gonna command my broom to bring it to him. Just gonna wrap it around the handle and tie it.
Okay. So we'll pause on that for just a second, because then we'll see what the broom does. Yurei,
Yeah.
you have heard this cry of protest. You have seen this individual that you know was illusioned kind of almost start the rally cry, and then you watch them stride away into a new location and almost to where they're hiding something.
I'm gonna follow this individual.
Okay.
Need me to roll another stealth or still hiding? Probably going across the rooftops.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll give it to you, because Rain, I didn't make her roll for perception to see if you're being followed. So, you see,
I cannot possibly roll enough to see him.
And that's my lowest roll.
I was trying to be polite with it, but yeah, also she's never gonna see you. So you see her writing this note, tying it to a broomstick, and sending the broomstick away. You're not going to be able to catch up to the broomstick.
I'm gonna wait. There's like one of those. Wait, there's like one person I know that has a broomstick. Okay, so that's one of those deductive reasoning. There's only one person with a broomstick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go meet up with Rain, making sure there's no other dissenters or wannabe revolutionaries around.
Very good, very good. Yeah, I assume you would have stashed your broom in a relatively secure location, Rain, away from, anybody wandering by.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So you guys are pretty well isolated. There's nobody around, and even if there was, they're too far away to really be of any bother.
Left a lovely distraction in in the square.
Yeah.
Yurei is just going to appear out of the shadow. I see you were able to get in good graces with the wannabe revolutionaries.
God, you scared the crap out of me. Do we have to put a bell on you?
I mean, it wouldn't work. It was part of the Part of the training was to be as stealthy with a bell on.
Oh, God. Yeah, I was able to accidentally befriend one of them. And now I'm hoping that we can get all of them in one little area, and maybe Zyper can cast like a spell magic or something.
Hopefully that'll help. Although having a bunch of confused citizens around your dungeon that's something we can sort out later. Remember, if we can find information about the musician.
He is gone. According to Mr. Alcohol, he disappeared, and no one knows where he is. They wanted to replace Cypher with the musician, but he is gone. So now, Alcohol has nominated himself.
Yes, someone has not been learning how to do a coup. His primary mistake is announcing your intention to the public.
Right?
Yeah, we should probably... I'll keep a close eye, see if any of the other... any troublemakers come around during the gathering. Who knows, with that potential...
Keep an eye out for my broom, will you? It should come back here. This is where I sent it off from. It won't come to me unless I call it. So if you come back here, feel free to... I sent Zyper a letter, so if there's another one attached to the broom, then go ahead and read that, and I'll the info later. But he might also send it via magical means. In which case, I'll excuse myself to the bathroom or something and come find you, or you'll find me.
I'll probably find you before you find me.
I have no doubt.
And we're going to cut away for just a moment into Zyper's castle, where he's just in the throne room reading a book, bunch of cats, and all of a sudden, crashing through the door comes this broomstick with a piece of paper tied to it. And he reads the note and just kind of, interesting, before scrawling out a note and sending it back with the broom. And then we cut back to you guys.
Does it come back while we're still here talking?
You know what? Maybe. No, it does not, unfortunately.
Darn.
It's apparently slightly more difficult to get out of Zypher's castle than it is to get into Zypher's castle.
It's like a fly.
Well, that's what happens when people shut the doors after you open them.
I'm just imagining the broom tapping against the top half of an open window.
Something like that.
It is probably neither subtle nor gentle trying to get through places. So.
I mean, it did completely bash its way into the throne room, so...
Probably sent a lot of cats scurrying.
Oh, 100%.
I bet.
And so now they're all trying to round up the cats because the broom just keeps making noise. It's a whole mess. Oh my gosh. It's just, and some of the cats are trying to play with it. It's a whole thing. But yes, are you two going to redisperse for the moment?
Yeah, I'll kind of
Yeah,
keep
so
an
I would actually change my disguise to someone else and then go back to the town square and like listen into the new conversations that are happening.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess Yuta, you're gonna do the exact same thing.
Yeah, trying to see if there's anyone else other than the drone guard. Maybe we can learn more information than just yes, that's a musician who's probably possessed Opal. How they're moving around, how they're moving around so fast.
Why would you think? Why would you think it's possessed Opal? What?
Deductive reasoning. Said how they're able to get to between the cities and gather everyone so fast without alerting the guards.
Okay.
My thought is, oh god, are they able to just be in multiple places at once?
Oh, that'd be terrifying.
Right?
Okay.
The only things that Rain knows about Opal is his name and the fact that he's possessed by an evil douchebag. So she has no idea.
All right. Actually, I think now would be a good point to cut it since we've got Scratch and Augie on their mission. We've got Lachlan and Carius on a rest. I can come up with some stuff for you guys, but I think for tonight we'll go ahead and call it because we are pretty close to that 3-hour mark too.
I am obviously leading a rebellion.
Obviously.
A rebellion that's doomed to failure.
Why am I not surprised?
Purposefully. It's purposefully doomed to failure.
Exactly.
That's the best kind.
I'm organizing a protest so that I can tear gas an entire population.
That sounds worse than what I'm doing.
No, you're a secret police officer organizing a rebellion to lead people directly into a dungeon.
All right. Well, we will go ahead and call it here. I don't think we have any super pressing announcements for the night, unless I'm entirely wrong.
Just subscribe on YouTube, follow us here on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, the TikToks, and if you like what we do, go down and give Duo a little tip down at the below where you can see us here. So you will see Adventures Anonymous on Sunday, Journeys in Dratori on Saturday, where we're actually starting back up the campaign. This week was just a Jeopardy episode. And if there is nothing else that needs to be said, going once, going twice, I will just say, as we like to say around here, there are 20 sides to every story. Roll for yours. Have a good night, guys.